we're gonna have Bad App's commentator, I guess, take us into the run.
Hello, everyone. I'll be commentating this game for you. Well, Rockman Spirit of Hackers is a Mega Man 6 ROM hack. This game is completely different from what Mega Man 6 was. For starters, slide is fixed, so it's the normal Mega Man 4 and 5 slide. Talking about the routing of the game, we start with Nightman first. This is for two reasons. Nightman gives us our greatest mobility tool throughout the game. You'll see later once he gives us his weapon. And also, he has no weakness for some reason, so it's the perfect Roadmaster to start with. Besides from fixing the slide, this game also has other neat shortcuts, like being able to change your weapons with select and equipping the brush jet adapter and the punch thingy, I forget the name, with select, start, and up, down. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this game. It's pretty difficult, by the way. And here's the boss. As I said earlier, this ROM hack changes everything, so all the attacks are different. Nightman turns into this sword, which will give me his weapon, by the way. He'll be just circling around until we beat him up. So yeah, that's Nightman. Nightman's weapon is the Guardian Blade. This weapon lets us spin in the air, so it'll be very useful for moving around. Next stage is Tomahawk. This is due to weakness order. Nothing much more than that. Now you'll see what a great tool the Guardian Blade is. It's the most overpowered weapon in the game, period. It deals a lot of damage, and it can get you to many places. So, speaking a little bit more about this game at the start says that the ROM hack is incomplete, but it hasn't been updated in a long time. It has that message because there are two stages in particular which are literally just the boss. Those are Mr. X 1 and 4, if I recall correctly. But to compensate for that, there are some really long stages like Yamato Man, which we'll see later. And let's talk. This guy loves throwing us his feathers, and that will also be his weapon. The Guardian Blade deals a lot of damage to him. Tomahawk Man gives us White Wing, which just throws feathers. It doesn't look too amazing, but it's a pretty okay weapon. The next Roadmaster is Windman. Really good song, by the way. Shoutouts to X3 platforms. You'll recognize some platforms and textures from many other games throughout stages. Oh. Well, hopefully that transitions are fast. That shouldn't have happened. So yeah, we'll be mostly using Guardian Blade to skip the ladders and move throughout the whole stage. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to go through that part, of course. You'll see Guardian Blade lets us skip many things. A lot of things. It's a really nice weapon. And that is a boss transition somehow. This is Wingman. The only big danger of this fight is falling to the void, but overall it's a pretty easy fight. Shoutouts to Storm Tornado. This is Windman's weapon. Vertical Draft. Next Robot Master is Yamato Man. This stage is particularly long. Have to go around many times the same places. Also, shoutouts to CX7. It's a really nice song, by the way. You'll see those 4 pillars. Well, we'll have to go throughout many different parts of the stage so we can unlock them. But the boss is just right there. That's one. They always lead you back to the pillars, so it's pretty fast overall. That's the second one. Small scroller. It's not too long. Oh yeah, like I said before, you have neat shortcuts in this game. So whenever Bada presses select, start, and up, he gets into the rush jet adapter. Saves us having to pause for everything. I think the only times where you want to pause in this game it's for a very specific weapon change and if you need to use any items. But besides that, you don't need to pause much. And that's the fourth one. Yep. The boss door was there the whole time. So this is Yamato Man. He mostly throws spearheads for some reason. And that's that. Bosses go down really fast in this game. Yamato Man's weapon just throws circling spearheads. It's weird actually, but it'll be useful later. Next stage is Blizzardman. This stage can be particularly slow if you don't have Guardian Blade, because snow makes us go really slow. But since we have Guardian Blade, it'll go by pretty quick. Yeah, that frog's just a pushover. And it's Blizzardman. He'll mostly be rolling and throwing those snowflakes at us. Blizzardman's weapon is pretty neat. This is Absolute Zero, which freezes all the enemies on a straight line in front of you. It's pretty useful later. Next one is Flame Man. On this stage, you ought to be careful with the flames. Just like in Mega Man 6, oil lights up if it gets touched by a flame, and you want to keep the oil not lit, so you can reach a secret entrance later.
So I have time to interject for a quick donation reading. All right. Conster sent $10 saying, "Darn you, Krang UFO. Here is the 10 I promised." So thanks, Conster. And thanks as well for the awesome run of TMNT.
Okay, so here's Flame Man. We can actually stay still in this fight and still defeat him. Absolute Zero is really that broken, but that's that. Shoutouts to Firewave. Next step is Plan Man. We'll be swapping weapons a lot throughout the stage. Nice theme, by the way. We're supposed to get on that frog thingy so we can cross that part, but we can just use there. Same minibus again. And that's Planman. Shoutouts to Whitman. And that's it. Also, yeah, you can move up there, but doesn't do anything really. You still have to go to the center. Shoutouts to Leaf Shield. And Centerman comes last. This stage can be particularly tricky because water changes the physics of Guardian Blade, so you really want to not be in the water when using it. Or not much at least. Skipping more letters, and this is Centerman. This guy teleports a lot, but it's not too hard. Oh yeah, and Centerman's weapon is Psycho Impact. You just shoot and it hits all enemies on screen. Just like Absolute Zero, it's a pretty broken weapon. And here come the Mr. X stages. Mr. X1 is literally just a boss, like I mentioned earlier. That's it. It's pretty short. Here comes Mr. X2. This one also has many weapon swaps. skipping more letters. That was kind of scary. Use some damage boots to conserve. Get out their energy, and here comes the boss. This one's Mr. X3. When I played this game, I was stuck on this stage for a really long time. You'll see why later. Also, shoutouts to Super Metroid and the bomb blocks. Here you'll see how broken Absolute Zero is. We can just slide through and nothing will ever happen. Since enemies are frozen, you just touch them with a slide and they're dead. This part in particular is extremely difficult. You gotta be really careful with Guardian Blade use. Those things down below are fans, so they pull you up. Oh, okay. We're fine. I died a lot on that part. But I've nailed it. This was some tomahawk feathers, and I think that's it. Now comes Mr. X4. This one is also just a boss. And we use Tomahawk Feather since it's the weapon that uses less ammo, but every weapon deals the same amount of damage. Shoutouts to Castlevania. And this is Wily 1. This stage also has many weapon swaps. Shoutouts to Mega Man 1. And this one can be pretty difficult if you don't use Centerman's weapon, but since we have that, we can just kill the enemies on screen and not care. Okay. But I'm sort of Guardian Blade, that could be a problem. Okay. You just spam Absolute Zero on this thing's head, and that's it. It's a pretty simple boss. This is Wily 2. The stage is full of ice. We have to kill these enemies so we can get through. It's just that, really. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's weird. Okay, there it is. Should have dropped 2 flames. Here we just have to wait out the flames that come from the left side of the screen. There are some screens like that, like this one. Getting some drops. Oh, also, when you have the Mega Buster equipped and you grab ammo, it'll actually refill a little bit of energy in one of your weapons. This part can be a little tricky. This part you have to punch that plug in the middle, and if your timing's off the first time you fall, you have to go through some loops out there, and you're on a time limit because the flames can burn down the floor, and then you only have spikes and die. You could also get all those things if you get through faster on the first part, but we don't really need them. This is Wily 2's boss. We just punch its cannon and that's it. Ooh. That was dangerous. Here comes Wily 3. This is the stage with the refights. But before that, we'll be battling mini bosses. And this is where the refights start. We actually start refighting the mini bosses, as weird as it may sound. And this is where the actual refights start. Throughout the whole refights, we'll be hearing the Golden Sun boss battle theme. Pretty nice game, by the way. The music won't stop until we beat all the Rabbit Masters. The refights are exactly the same, so nothing much to say here.
Alright, well, in that case, I guess I could once again update us on our current incentives and bid wars that are on the go. The next one coming up is for Spyro 3, and that's choosing Spyro's color. It's still at $69 for green and nothing for anything else. So if you're a fan of any color but green, you should definitely get your dollars in. I, of course, am a fan of green, so I won't be getting mine in, but you can. For Rondo of Blood, we've got Save or Leave, Richter's Girlfriend. Currently, Leave is ahead at $10 to 0. And then after that, in Grim Dawn, there's the character name bid war, which is an 18 character limit, and currently we have Raph is the best with $15 and no other alternative names at this time.
And this is Wily Tree's boss. Shoutouts to the baby Dark Elves. We'll be slamming them onto each other. And that's it. Here comes Wily for this last stage. This is actually the same stage, but we'll be going upwards instead. And this is Wily. We just fill him with feathers. This is not so good. Well, there we use some center mass weapons to hit him a bit. Okay, that's it, I think. Yeah, this is the last one. GG. So that was Rockman Spirit of Hackers. I hope you enjoyed the game, guys. Ending is pretty much the same as Mega Man 6. Was a pretty nice run overall.